The 2026 NFL Draft has come and gone, but that means that it comes with lots of news. So let's get you caught up with the NFL news. Welcome to Top Dog Coverage. It's your boy Dirty with your boy C Dub, and today we are going to be going over some post 2026 NFL Draft news, and sometimes some of it happens during it. You never know with these NFL teams. So C Dub, it was a heck of a week with the NFL Draft, but the NFL news and NFL does not stop; it just continues.
Yeah, I mean, we got quite a bit of news to cover. It happened, from a few days before the draft up through the draft. But now we're at that small kind of window where there's probably not as much action. We have passed the window where any of these free agent signings do not count towards the compensatory pick formula for next year. So we should start seeing that kind of quote unquote third wave of free agency hitting with all the guys that are still out there. So.
Fair enough. So without further ado, let's just dive into it. What do you say?
Yeah.
All right. It's time for the news, baby. Well, the news is brought to you by Norse-Hall.com. So if you guys want some hot sauce or some mead, some honey wine. Yes, I said mead with an M as in Mary. Go to Norse-Hall.com. It is a proud sponsor based out of West Virginia. They have lots of different kinds of hot sauce, and they burn couches before the football games, not after. So Norse-Hall.com to get your famous hot sauce. All right. Well, before we start, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and stay connected with us. Swipe up, Apple, Spotify, hit the 5 stars, leave a comment, go to topdogcoverage.com, vote for your favorite team, and email us at topdogcoverage@gmail.com to let us know what you guys think of the NFL draft, the NFL news, and your favorite teams and or rivals. I'm going to dig in right away. What do you say?
Yeah.
All right. So the Steelers place a UFA tender on Aaron Rodgers. So it is still not expected Aaron Rodgers will join a team other than the Steelers this offseason. So if he does, Pittsburgh will be in line for draft compensation. Rodgers has received the UFA tender from the Steelers, according to Adam Schefter. Such a move is rare in this case, although there were 2 examples from the 2025 offseason. The Browns applied the UFA tender to Elijah Moore, while the Chargers did the same with J.K. Dobbins. So both players wound up signing with the teams, but they were factored into Cleveland and Los Angeles compensatory.
There we go.
Compensatory pick formulas along the way. The same will be true of Rodgers and the Steelers, with an outside deal not likely in this case. However, today's news essentially serves as a guarantee Rodgers will either play for Pittsburgh in 2026 or retire. The team will have exclusive negotiating rights with the future Hall of Famer if he remains unsigned beyond July 22nd, while also being able to match any offer sheets which are signed prior to that date. So I believe this, I could be wrong, but I believe that this gives him a salary base of $16 million, I think, around there, something like that.
Sure.
So
that sounds good.
But yeah, it's rare, but it happens. So, let us know what you guys think about it. Comment below, subscribe to the channel.
Alrighty, let's go to New York, where the Giants are set to sign defensive tackle Shelby Harris. So after trading their cornerstone defensive lineman days before the draft, the Giants created a glaring need, and Dexter Lawrence is now part of a deep Bengals defensive tackle group, while the Giants need some answers after devoting their early draft resources elsewhere. So one of those answers is coming from a recent visitor. A month after meeting with the Giants, Shelby Harris is signing with the team, according to KPRC2's Aaron Wilson. Harris joined DJ Reader in visiting the team while Lawrence remained a Giant, although Harris' visit came before the All-Pros trade request. This agreement will give Harris a chance to play an age 35 season. Formerly a key Broncos D-line piece who became part of the 2022 Russell Wilson trade, Harris spent the past 3 seasons as a Jim Schwartz charge in Cleveland. Regularly redirecting passes via bat downs, Harris started 25 games with the Browns and has 89 career starts on his resume.
All right. I'm going to take you over to Denver, where quarterback Bo Nix undergoes a follow-up ankle procedure. So the party line coming out of the Denver pointed to Bo Nix being ready for OTAs. The most recent update from this situation tabbed that the QB as being ahead of schedule on his ankle rehab, but it now looks quite possible the Broncos will be careful with starting their quarterback this offseason. Nick's rehab from an ankle fracture continues, according to Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo. The third-year passer underwent a follow-up procedure described as a cleanup, while the NFL duo indicates that it is not an unexpected development. The prospect of the Broncos being careful with Nix this offseason also emerged. So this comes after Nix's scheduled recheck last week. The Broncos are expected to be cautious with their signal caller, but Rappaport and Garofalo noted the QB is firmly expected to be ready for training camp, while Nix is going into his third season in the same system. The Broncos are changing play callers with Sean Payton giving the reins, but QB coach Sean Payton is giving his reins to the QB coach, to offensive coordinator Davis Webb this year. So, as we all know, Denver lost Nix at the moment of the AFC Championship right beforehand. And so seeing the durable passer suffer his injury during the overtime period of a 33-30 divisional round win over the Bills, Peyton announced post-game it would be Jared Stidham making the start in the AFC Championship game. So Bo Nix, hopefully that he comes back healthy and ready to rock and roll. Comment down below. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, it's good news for those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But, speaking of Denver, we had a longtime Bronco legend recently hang up the cleats.
Ooh.
So safety Justin Simmons has announced his retirement. So last month, Justin Simmons revealed a desire to return to the NFL in 2026, but the accomplished safety has since changed his mind, and Simmons announced his retirement on Wednesday. So retiring as a Bronco via an announcement shared by the team, Simmons exits the NFL after 9 seasons, 8 of which came in Denver, with the All-Pro spending the 2024 season in Atlanta. So Simmons, who's 32 years old, did not play last season. He timed his announcements 10 years after being drafted. So Simmons was not part of the Broncos Super Bowl 50 defense, arriving months after the team's championship parade as a 2016 third-round pick. But he enjoyed several quality seasons as the franchise transitioned from its Peyton Manning era. Simmons ended his career as a 4-time All-Pro and was among his era's best ball hawks.
He was. That man was a great safety.
Yes, he was.
Towards the end, everybody was kind of like, fans wanted to pick him up, but obviously, if teams are hesitant, there's got to be a loss of step somewhere. So,
yeah, and he had a great career. So, shouts out to him.
Yeah,
enjoy your retirement.
I'm gonna go to C-Dub's rival team, the Falcons, who parted ways with their executive Chris Olsen and hire Eagles Bryce Johnston. So Johnston will hold the title of Senior Vice President of Football Administration, Senior Personnel Executive in Atlanta, per a team announcement. He will thus play a leading role as part of the Falcons' significantly revamped front office. So Olsen is a longtime NFL executive who began his career working for the NFL Management Council. In 2007, he was hired as the Texans' Senior Vice President of Football Administrations, a post he held until his firing in 2020. He then joined the Falcons the following year and played a key role negotiating contracts and managing Atlanta's tight cap situation over the last several years. Replacing Olsen will be Eagles Senior Vice President Football Executive Bryce Johnston, according to NFL Network's Mike Garofalo. He spent the last decade working under one of the league's preeminent contract cap experts, Howie Roseman, which include the execution of major deals with Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and many, many more. Johnson overlapped with New Falcons GM Ian Cunningham in Philly. Johnson will now take that expertise to Atlanta, where he will manage the salary cap, lead contract negotiations, and handle similar roster-related duties under the Falcons' new regime. So they are some new captains, if you will, coming in. So
yeah, and to note also they let go a lot of scouts over there as well right after the draft, which is it's always tough when you ever get a new GM. So a guy that's kind of helped me throughout my career, Alex Brown, was among those. So shouts out to Alex Brown. Hope you land back up on your feet, and I know plenty of teams are gonna be fighting for your services. So,
A-Bone.
Shout out to my guy. But I'm gonna go kick it over to Houston, where the Texans keep finding money in the banana stand and keep giving it to their defense. So the Texans and linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair agreed to an extension. So the Texans are signing linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair to a 3-year extension per Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo of NFL Network, keeping the leader of Houston's defense under contract through the 2029 season. Al-Shaair, 28, first arrived in Houston in 2024 on a 3-year, $34 million deal, and immediately took over a starting role in D'Amico Ryan's defense. He only appeared in 11 games in his first year, due in part to a 3-game suspension, but made 16 starts in 2025 with the team high 103 tackles. The ex-49er did not stuff the stat sheet otherwise, but his consistency in the middle of the Texans' league-leading defense earned him his first career Pro Bowl selection. That gave Al-Shaair significant leverage when negotiating his new deal, which should be a solid raise over his first contract with the team. And the Al-Shaair extension is worth $54 million, Rappaport and Garafolo report. That $18 million average annual value ranks third in the NFL among inside linebackers. Al-Shaair will be counted on to remain one of Houston's most impactful defenders for the foreseeable future with his new deal in hand.
Well deserved. They got some dogs over there. They definitely do. And they're paying them. So let me bring you to defensive tackle Jaleel Johnson has retired. So Jaleel Johnson will not return to the NFL in 2026. The veteran defensive tackle has retired at the age of 31, according to Aaron Wilson. Johnson entered the league in 2017. He played out his rookie contract as a member of the Vikings, taking on a larger defensive workload with each passing season. Johnson operated as a full-time starter during his final Minnesota campaign, and his 654 snaps that season wound up being the most of his career during a single year. During his first foray into free agency, Johnson joined the Texans on a 1-year deal. He did not survive roster cuts, but still wound up making 12 appearances with Houston in 2021. During the ensuing years, Johnson found himself bouncing on and off practice squads while serving in a depth capacity. The former 4th-rounder split his time between the Texans and Falcons in 2022. That was followed by a brief stint with the Titans. Johnson spent 2023 campaign in Tennessee, alternating between time on the active roster and the practice squad. The Iowa product managed 12 games played that season, but he did not receive any contracts or take any known visits in interested teams at any point. Johnson remained unsigned deep into the spring, and with the draft now in the books, he will not be seeking out an opportunity to land with the team during the training camp as he was in 2024. Despite never delivering standout production against the run or pass, Johnson amassed 90 combined regular and postseason appearances across a career which spanned 7 years. He was officially retired with just over $5.5 million in total earnings. So shout outs to Jaleel Johnson retiring. Can't be easy. He did what he had to do. He late round pick, and you know what? He survived. He went through, and he got a good amount of change. So good for him.
There you go. Shouts out to him. All righty. I'm going to keep it in the Lone Star State. Now I'm actually going to head over to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So the Cowboys have made little progress on a long-term deal with wide receiver George Pickens, who is currently tied to a $27.3 million salary cap for the 2026 season. So this is straight from Adam Schefter. He said they're nowhere with George Pickens right now. They are not really talking about an extension. They're not close to an extension. They're not getting a deal done at this point in time. So Pickens, 25, arrived in Dallas last offseason via trade with the Steelers. put up career highs of catches, yards, and touchdowns, leading the Cowboys and ranking among the league's top 10 receivers in each category. So the Cowboys have until July 15th to work out a multi-year deal with Pickens, but it does not appear that will happen. This is from Executive Vice President Stephen Jones. He said, "We made a decision that we're going to have George Pickens play under the franchise tag. There won't be negotiations on a long-term deal. So, barring a 180 from the Cowboys, Pickens is in line to become the first NFLer to play under the tag since Bengals receiver T. Higgins did so in 2024. Pickens has yet to sign his franchise tender, which I believe he did sign earlier on Wednesday or late Wednesday afternoon. And although it is unclear if he will take part in their offseason program, Pickens will be the fifth Cowboy to play on the tag since 2018, as DeMarcus Lawrence, Dak Prescott, Dalton Schultz, and Tony Pollard preceded the wide receiver here.
All right, I'm going to stay in that wide receiver area, and I'm going to go up to Wisconsin, where the Packers and Jayden Reed agreed to an extension. So shortly before the start of the draft second day, the Packers have worked out an extension agreement with receiver Jayden Reed, according to Adam Schefter. A 3-year deal worth $50.25 million in new money, including $20 million guaranteed, has been finalized. Reed's $16.75 million AAV slots him in as the 29th highest paid wide receiver in the league. A solid deal for the Packers. A 2023 second rounder flashed as a rookie before putting together an impressive sophomore campaign with 11.4 yards per target and 15.6 yards per reception. Both numbers ranked among the league's top 6 wideouts and raised expectations entering 2025. I think this is looking pretty good considering they have Reed, Christian Watson over there. They got rid of Wicks, and they have Matthew Golden, and Dobbs went over to the Patriots. So somebody's got to get paid, and looks like he's the next man up. So good for Jayden Reed. If you guys want to comment down below and subscribe to the channel, let us know what you think.
All righty. And then I'm going to go to one of the deals that happened during the draft. So the Eagles have made a major splash on day 2 of the draft. They are acquiring edge defender Jonathan Grenard and a 2026 7th rounder from the Vikings, per ESPN.com's Adam Schefter and NFL.com's Ian Rappaport. The Eagles and Grenard have agreed to a 4-year, $100 million extension with $50 million guaranteed. The Vikings will receive a 2026 third rounder, number 98 overall, and a third rounder next year, which Minnesota ended up taking Miami safety Jacoby Thomas at that 98 spot. But Philadelphia's interest in Grenard first became public before free agency opened in early March. The team then lost one of its best edge rushers, Jalen Phillips, who inked a 4-year, $120 million contract with the Panthers. Eagles later added Arnold Ebiketie and Joe Tryon-Shoyinka on modest packs, but they continued pushing for Grenard. So the Vikings and Grenard were optimistic he would stay in Minnesota and potentially ink an extension. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reports, instead, though, he will head to the second NFC destination of his career. The trade will save the Vikings a whopping $34 million in cap space, Schefter relays. They entered Friday with around $4.83 million in breathing room via over the cap.
All right. I'm going to take you to one last bit that I have. The Tennessee Titans president of football operations, Chad Brinker, is stepping down. The Titans president of football operations, Chad Brinker, is stepping down from his role. The team announced this evening. The 46-year-old spent the last 3 years in Tennessee in the front office. Quote, "It has been an honor to serve as president of football operations for the Tennessee Titans," Brinker said in his statement. "Over the years, I've understood and embraced my role as the leader of the football strategy, but as I've spent less time in personnel, I have a renewed conviction that it is time to return to what I love and move forward and move towards my next chapter. I'm grateful for Amy's understanding in my decision and for allowing me to pursue other opportunities. I'm proud of the work we've done over the past 3 years under challenging circumstances, to begin with process of getting the Titans football organization back on track, not the least of which was last year's general manager search. I believe the Titans have exceptional people and long-term stability at the general manager position and throughout the scouting department." While there is work to be done, I believe we've laid the foundation to restore the Titans to its rightful place as a sustainable winning program. My family and I will always be grateful for Amy's belief and trust in me and for our time in Tennessee. So following a brief playing career that included a stint in NFL Europe, Brinker joined the Packers front office. He spent more than a decade with the organization, working his way up from scouting intern to assistant director of pro scouting to eventually an administration executive gig. So shout outs to my man Chad Brinker, stepping down, going back to what he loves to do. So
All right. And I do have one last little bit of news that I'd like to cover, if you don't mind.
shoot.
This is going to be the fifth-year option tracker for the 2023 first round.
Okay.
So NFL teams have until May 1st, which is the now, the time that you're listening to. So that's to officially pick up the fifth-year options for the 2023 first rounders.
Mm-hmm.
So in the 2020 CBA, they changed the structure. So they made them fully guaranteed instead of just guaranteed for injury. So far, as at this moment in time, we're recording this on April 29th. Number one pick, Bryce Young, his option was exercised. Pick number 2, CJ Stroud, his option was exercised. Pick number 3, Will Anderson Jr., his option was also exercised, but he also got the long-term deal as well.
Okay.
Pick number 4, Anthony Richardson, still unknown, but I'm assuming it's going to be declined.
Yeah.
5th pick, Devon Witherspoon, Seahawks, was exercised. Pick number 6, Paris Johnson Jr. of the Cardinals, was exercised. Pick number 7, defensive end Tyree Wilson of the Raiders, was declined, and he was actually moved to New Orleans for a mid-round pick during the draft. Pick number 8, Bijan Robinson, his option was exercised. Pick 9, Jalen Carter, his option was exercised. Pick 10, Darnell Wright, his option was exercised. Pick 11, Peter Skoronski of the Titans, his is going to be exercised by the deadline. Pick 12, running back Jahmyr Gibbs of the Lions, is also going to be exercised. Pick 13, Lucas Van Ness of the Packers, to be determined. We're not sure yet. Pick 14, Broderick Jones of the Steelers, is going to be declined. They will not be picking up the fifth-year option. Pick 15, defensive end Will McDonald of the Jets, is exercised. Pick 16, Emmanuel Forbes, who's now with the Rams, to be determined. We're not sure yet. Pick 17, Christian Gonzalez of the Patriots, is going to be exercised. Pick 18, linebacker Jack Campbell, has declined, so they will not be picking up his fifth year. Pick 19, Kalijah Kancey of the Buccaneers, was exercised. Pick 20, receiver Jackson Smith and Jigba, his was exercised and got the long-term extension as well. Pick 21, receiver Quentin Johnston of the Chargers, his was exercised. Pick 22, receiver Zay Flowers of the Ravens, was exercised. Pick 23, receiver Jordan Addison of the Vikings, was exercised. Pick 24, Deontay Banks of the Giants, to be determined. Pick 25, Dalton Kincaid of the Bills, exercised. Pick 26, defensive tackle Mozzie Smith, who was drafted by the Cowboys, who is now with the Jets. His option was declined. Pick 27, Anton Harrison of the Jaguars, was exercised. Pick 28, defensive end Myles Murphy of the Bengals, to be determined. Pick 29, Brian Brzee of the Saints, was exercised. Pick 30, defensive end Nolan Smith of the Eagles, was exercised. And pick 31, Felix Anudike Uzama of the Chiefs, to be determined.
Well played with that last name. That's not a easy. Yeah,
I was close. I was sweating.
Yeah, I saw it. But I think you pulled through, dude. I think you pulled through.
Yeah, man. That's a lot of names.
Just so you know, it's been a little over a year, and I just want to say that I'm picking up your extension as well, sir. Okay, so I'm exercising. Yeah,
my fifth-year option. All right.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, your first year option. We're just gonna do. We'll do your.
Let's do it one year by year. All right.
Yeah. We'll do.
That's
we should call it our fifth year in. We should call it our fifth year exercise year.
Okay.
Just some ideas.
Hopefully it comes with some of these millions of dollars here.
That's what we're aiming for here, right? So, But I mean, that's all you got. That's all I got too.
Yep, that's it. I just
All
want to cover the 31 picks of the 2023 NFL Draft.
I appreciate that.
rounders.
Yeah, it really does help everybody to understand who's on their team and such, and that way everybody is updated. But if you guys want to stay updated with us, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, comment below what you guys think of the news, your reactions to it, and follow us at Top Dog Coverage on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Swipe up on Apple, Spotify, leave a comment, hit the 5 stars, go to topdogcoverage.com, and vote for your favorite team. Also, topdogcoverage@gmail.com. Let us know what you guys like in the NFL draft, and also let us know who you guys want to talk about, which teams, and which teams you don't like. Maybe we'll have a little discussion on that. But until next time, that is it for your boy Dirty and C-Dub, and we will catch you on the flip side. Take care. We love you all. Peace.